Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now on with the show.
Lilith, and joining me as always is
Ricky. Hello.
Up today for discussion is filler episode 110, 6 months ago. Clumsy exposition. A fantastic story.
I know, I quite liked it. I thought for what you call a filler, I actually really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed all these kind of these flashbacks / flash forward episodes. But then again, the only ones I really remember are this one and 5 years forward.
I know, out of season 1. Yeah. I remember Godsend too and stuff like that. But I do like the exposition, but it was just a whole episode. Wow.
Some of my favorite episodes from iconic shows are filler episodes.
But there's a difference between standalone and filler. Standalone is a good episode that doesn't contribute to the overarching story, and then there's filler that's just there because there's 24 episodes.
The most famous one that I like, that I don't think anyone actually likes, is the Lost episode with Nikki and Paolo's story. I love that filler episode.
Oh my
I think
God,
it's so
Ricky
good.
needs to be stopped, guys.
I think that is really that's such a good
sacrilege
episode.
right there, Ricky.
I know, but I don't know why no one likes it. I think it's great because it kind of gives credence to the little background characters, and it just ends so dark. 6 months ago.
So now that you've learned that about Ricky, don't judge him too harshly. Let's get cracking with the synopsis for 6 months ago.
Hero time travels too far, but tries to save Charlie to no avail. Chandra Suresh finds and tests a potentially powerful evolved human. Claire's life changes when her father finds out she's special. Nathan recruits Peter to help him prosecute Mr. Linderman. Nikki gets a surprise visit from a family member. Mr. Bennett gives Eden a chance for a new life.
Open with Hero arriving at the Bertels Diner 6 months in the past. Charlie refills his coffee, and he introduces himself to her and says what every girl wants to hear from some creepy, sweaty Asian guy sitting in her section. I'm here to save your life.
She just palms it off.
Yeah. Hero. Subtlety. Anyway, Sheriff Davidson interrupts, calling Charlie to blow out the candles on her birthday cake. She beckons him to come over, and they get a picture taken.
The picture taken.
Meanwhile, over at Gray & Son's clock store, a man named Gabriel Gray is meticulously reassembling gears in a watch. As he places the final gear in place, the watch begins ticking again. And in some kind of metaphor, I'm sure, Chandra Suresh enters the store, and the man asks if they can help him.
He just looks so sinister when he comes in. When he comes in and says, "I'm here to help you," or something like that.
He looks like the original design of Sylar from the unaired pilot, kind of. Chandra approaches the man and the man, who is Sylar, aka Gabriel Gray, notices his watch and tells him he can fix it. Chandra's like, "It's not broken."
And he's like, "Yes, it is.
It's running 2 seconds slow." Who cares? It's 2 seconds. And he's like, "I just know how things work." And I'm like, okay. That's not at all. You would think he would have super hearing or something, but no.
Maybe later he'll get one of those.
Anyway, Chandra introduces himself after he fixes the watch and tells him that he came for him and gives him a copy of the infamous Activating Evolution book. That really should have been a thing, though. I'm so bummed that it didn't actually turn into a thing. I guess I didn't have time for that. Anyway, cut to a traffic stop with Mr. Mac Parkman, who approaches a car, and guess who's in the car?
Long hair, don't care.
He asked her for her license and registration, but she's like, "Yeah, it's not my car. I stole it." And she's got like an open bottle of
Love it.
alcohol. This is so great. And she's like, I'm not gonna get out of this car. As a matter of fact, you should go eat some donuts. And then she drives off, but then the Haitian shows up in front of her.
That's the Haitian special power as well. He can just appear out of nowhere, right? Yeah,
Perfect
exactly.
time. I know. Maybe he's Batman too. Who knows? Claire. Then we cut to Claire, who's laying on her bed reading an instruction manual for something. I have no clue. Jackie comes in talking about Lori Trimel's slutty behavior and says, "Hey, guess what? You get to be a cheerleader now." But for some reason, Claire doesn't seem that excited, and Jackie's like all up in her space. And so she gets in her face, and then Claire tries to take the uniform from her, and an accident happens. Her hand goes through one of those glass.
Her hand?
Her hand. I use that in because, as you tweeted, obvious stepman hand is obvious stepman.
They didn't even like shave his arm. Like you can kind of see it in the light when it turns around. Like, oh man.
Did he have
No,
uncle
he didn't have
arms?
uncle arms. They was because it was blonde. It wasn't that bad, but you could kind of see it in the light. But yeah, it was so obviously not her hand, and they didn't even make any bones about it. It was so funny.
Downstairs, like they kind of like Mr. Bennett's like, "What the hell were you two girls doing?" And Mrs. Bennett's like, "Get my keys, Jackie. We gotta go." And then just as they're leaving, like coincidences of all coincidences, it's freaking Papa Suresh calling Papa Bennett to talk about Claire, and I'm just like, "Oh, Hero, you try." Then we see Hero, who is continually trying to explain to Charlie that he's teleported from the future and not to go to work tomorrow because he thinks he teleported a day and it's raining. And he goes, "It wasn't raining the previous day." And she goes, "Oh, April showers." And again, we get this classic freaking Heroes. No, not that month. This month. It's April 24th, her birthday. And he's like,
Classic hero face at the end as well.
I was counting the months to make sure that was just right, that it was 6 months ago. Because knowing Heroes are probably, it could have been very close. Anyway, he tries to teleport again, but he goes, "I don't want to be lunch for dinosaurs, so I guess I'm stuck here." Cut to an AA meeting, and we see Nikki introduce herself, and
Yay.
celebrating her 1 year sober with Texas Tina, and her creepy dad in the audience, unbeknownst to her, who kind of corners her and says, "Hey, I want to come back into your life." He wants to get to know his grandson and his son-in-law. I mean, the Sanders' stuff is always so damn random.
I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to give context to Jessica, but
did it have to be so?
Didn't really.
Did the implication have to be so graphic and gross, though? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Again, it's that creepy #rape. Anyway, cut to Peter graduating nursing school and having a big old party.
And having a massive party, yeah.
Everybody's giving him crap, and his dad didn't show up.
I don't know. I like the whole scene. It kind of I like the whole scene in Peter's apartment with like his brother and stuff because it just shows the differences between them. Like Nathan is Nathan took the same path as his father, and like he's always been the favorite son, quote unquote. And Peter's always trying to be the rebel, but still wanting like his brother's approval, which essentially is trying to get his dad's approval. I
like Heidi's reaction to the news, and finally, Mama Petrelli wasn't being a total witch, and she's like, "I always wanted a nurse in the family." I thought that was kind of sweet.
I think Heidi is well out of the wheelchair, very drunk and very flirtatious. Was actually quite good as well. It's
There's scandalous stuff starting to come out already. Was Nathan drunk too?
Yeah, I think. Well, they were drinking. I don't know whether he was drunk. So yeah, that was it's a bit, irresponsible by the network.
Especially with the two parents having two kids. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, back at Chandra's apartment, there's a knock at the door. It's Gabriel, and Chandra's like, "I would like to run some tests on your brain." Like, what is this? iZombie? Anyway, Gabriel explains that, as a kid, he wished someone would come and tell him that his family wasn't really his family and that he was special, and he felt that his parents were insignificant and that he wants to be different and important. And it's kind of funny that they say this because we go on later in the series. You know what I mean? I don't know if that was like actual seed or if they just decided to do what they did.
To run with it, yeah. But I liked that. It's the beginnings of him trying to be special, and it's that whole sins of the father kind of thing. Like he doesn't like, whereas Nathan tries to exactly be like his father and tries to follow in his father's footsteps, Gabriel or Sylar doesn't want to. He wants to be something different. He wants to be something special, but he has no choice but to follow in his father's footsteps because he doesn't think he's special. Until Chandra comes along and everything goes to hell, basically. But yeah.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of, though, is Unbreakable. You know how it's like, oh, it's always the guy who you start to be friends with that becomes your arch nemesis. And they're like really cool. He's explaining the rules to him and stuff, and it's like all the whole time he's setting them up. It's just this is how I felt about it. Anyway, we cut to Mr. Bennett, who's like reading Eden's rap sheet. It's long. And he's got her mouth taped shut, and I'm like, you have a wife, sir. I don't think it's time for that kind of games, Mr. Bennett. But anyway, he's like trying to give her some purpose, and he's like, I want you to, you tried to create your own morality, but now you can do something. But yeah, notice your abilities don't work here. Cut to that Haitian. I kind of like that she was kind of caught off guard by that. But, like, Noah has a lot of nerve talking about somebody creating their own morality. Like, he just has a lot of... Anyway, Hero places a call to Ando at Yamagata Industries. But, like, randomly, Ando is out sick. Like, are they even allowed to take sick days in Japan? Like, I could have sworn they weren't. So past Hero picks up the phone and, like, past/future Hero, like, I don't even know how to explain the predicament Hero's in, hangs up the phone and he does that whole Greto Scott. Oh, I was like, you're killing me. Killing me with it, dude. Anyway, we see Tom pull up alongside Matt's police cruiser. You know Tom, the guy that he punched not too long ago.
Yeah. Who is a beat cop as well. He's a beat cop as well. They're obviously gonna... They're
both taking the detective's test. And so he pulls up to the cruiser. He's like, are you really eating donuts, bro? The detective's examined in 1 hour. It was so funny. He was still eating the donuts from
just staring blankly, half donut in hand.
That was great. Anyway, we learned that Hero worked as a busboy at the diner helping Charlie. He gives her a gift, and it's a Japanese phrase book. And I'm like, okay, time travel. Seriously.
Yeah, they kind of play really, really fast and loose with the time travel stuff. Here anyway, but like, yeah. Ugh.
Charlie reads part of the phrase book briefly and thanks Hero in well-spoken Japanese. And I'm like, you can remember it, but if you can just read it, you've never heard somebody say it, then how do you get the exact pronunciation? Like, she has a big memory. Like, that memory, okay, you would need to hear somebody say it. Do you know what I mean? It's just kind of...
Yeah.
Anyway, when Hero comments on how quickly she's learning to speak it, she tells him that she's been remembering everything lately. And she's like, he goes, you got power? I got power. And she's like, oh, right, you're from the future. I do like that reaction Charlie gives him, though.
Yeah. So
he does the thing with the flowers and gets her table, and she thinks he's some kind of magician. And Hero's just like, no, lady. Here's a racist-sounding prophecy so that you'll believe me that I'm from the future. The swallow will slay the dragon, and I'm just like, come on, man. Stop it, please.
I don't know. I think it's very sweet the little thing that they had for this episode. As cheesy and over the top as it is, I think it's very good. Like, it's Hero's one of the main reasons why I watched the show, and I think this kind of gave him a different element as opposed to, like, sure, he's here for the comedic relief, but it kind of gave him a love story, and it showed him being vulnerable. And I think that's only a good thing, to make him more than just the comedic relief for the show. So yeah.
I did, like I said earlier in an earlier podcast, I do like that they gave him a love interest, but it was just so schmaltzy, man. Like, I'm not a fan of love interest on superhero shows. Like, I'm just not.
Oh, fair enough.
So this was like really way too over the top. Gave me a cavity type sweet that I'm just not here for it. But I do like that they tried. It was unexpected that they would do that. So cut to the graveyard where Nikki's got a bottle of booze looking at her sister's grave. And I'm like, dang, she died when she was 11? Anyway, DL joins her and Nikki's talking about missing Jessica. And she's like, Hal wants to get back in my life and meet you and Micah. And, Hal has money. They can get Micah into a private school. And DL's like, well, I guess we can have him over for dinner as long as we can chat, basically. So we cut to the night of the accident between Nathan's accident. He's driving a nice little convertible, and they're talking about Peter becoming a hospice nurse, and Nathan's being a dick about it. And then they see this van driving behind them, speeds up and runs them off the road. Nathan flies away, apparently, and leaves Heidi to die in the car alone.
Yeah, it kind of should make us try and sympathize with him because obviously he's at fault for what's happened to his wife. Yeah, and maybe that's one of the reasons why he's so desperate to try and shield Peter but he's just going about it in the wrong way. He's being a bit of a douche about it. Like, in the previous episode, just covering the painting, and then why he wants Peter not to tell anyone about his powers, not just because, it's political suicide for him, but he's seen what happens because of his powers. Like, his wife is in a wheelchair because he couldn't save her. But then that's also a case of, Nathan being kind of a douche.
But here's the thing, though. When we learn more about Linderman, it's like, was Linderman trying to have Nathan's powers activated? Like, he obviously didn't want him to die. So this is where it gets complicated. Was he trying to kill off his wife so that he didn't have any distractions? Like, it just gets all kind of murky and confusing. But anyway, Peter wakes up from a dream, apparently what happened to Nathan. The phone rings. Peter meets Nathan at the hospital. And when Nathan explains to how he's been in surgery for 10 hours, and he's like, hey, what about the other car? And Nathan's like, how the hell do you know that?
Yeah, and why is Nathan not, thinking, how does my brother know this? Is he the one who put the car there? Instantly I would be like, I haven't told anyone this. It's like, it's like one of those reveals that should be, Peter was the one who did it, but yeah.
Now that would have been awesome, actually. Peter was the bad guy the whole damn time, yeah. Then Nathan explains that the guys in the other car are Mr. Linderman's guys, and, he must have found out about the DA's plan to prosecute him, and then he goes, you know what? We gotta take Linderman down. If that means taking Dad down with him, we're gonna do that too. And then a doctor pulls him aside and apparently gives him some bad news. The new thing, your wife's in a wheelchair. Anyway, the next day, Hero brings a newspaper to the diner and shows Charlie the Japanese baseball results. Where, of course, the Swallows slayed the Dragons. There's a joke in that somewhere, but I'm not going to reach too hard. Charlie takes the newspaper, reads the Japanese article, and Hero's like, yeah, you read Japanese only after one day. He's like, you have power just like me. And Charlie's like, look, dude, I think you're a little crazy. I tolerate you because you bust my tables for free, apparently. So, just take it easy. So then he brings up the thing about origami and the man who folds 1,000 cranes. So he does that. It's cute. I'm not saying it's not cute. I actually like this scene. He basically pauses time, folds 1,000 cranes, and when she opens her eyes, she's amazed. And she goes, he offers her the plane ticket. She takes it. And she goes, what, no ticket for you? And he's like, no, I got me a ticket, but just in case. And then it kind of dawned on me at that particular point. It's like, wait a minute. How the hell did he get tickets? Is he robbing casinos, pausing time and robbing? But we learn later on, of course, why he has money. But at the particular time, I was like, how does a busboy afford 2 first-class tickets to Japan? I don't. Anyway, we go back to Chandra talking to Gabriel right now. And they're performing some tests. And, they're talking about biological imperatives and whatnot. Oh, no, evolutionary imperatives.
Imperative.
And so, they complete the test, and Chandra's like, at least you're healthy, but you're perfectly normal.
It's so cold. It's like Chandra's come to Sylar, Gabriel, and just said, you're special. I know you're special. And then, nothing happens. And so the first thing he does is like, oh, I know I said you were special, but, these tests aren't right, so you're probably just normal. And he's given, like, Gabriel, like, the idea, he's put the idea in his head that, he is special, and he's just, like, pretty much just ripped it away from him in, like, a day. And I can kind of see why Gabriel gets angry, because, he's always wanted to be special, and there's this guy telling him he is, and then to literally take it away from him the next day is kind of cold-blooded.
Yeah, so, classics, crazy Sylar fashion, this is like the glimpse of it.
Yep.
He has a freaking emotional meltdown, and, basically he steals the name of another potential evolved human, by the name of Brian Davis.
Yes.
And, it says maybe he's telekinetic. And so he sneaks off. And then we see that he stole it or whatever. And just as Gabriel leaves, we see Mr. Bennett get out of the cab and approach the building. And I was just like, oh! If we could have just stopped him right there. I love these hit and miss close calls, though. And that is one of the best, most fun things about Heroes, especially in Flashback. So Micah opens, Nikki's dad comes over. He comes bearing gifts. He gives Micah a laptop, offers to pay for private school after they kind of beat around the bush about it.
Yeah, he says, like, he's basically apologizing for his behavior when he was younger. Or when Nikki and Jessica were younger, and Nikki absolutely knows nothing about it, and he obviously feels guilty for it, but, because because Nikki's not saying anything, he doesn't want to drudge up the past and kind of tell us, so he kind of just leaves it, goes out, and then he just throws a fit at Micah, because obviously Micah's just destroyed his
$2,000 laptop. Oh, 2006. I couldn't even imagine unless it's a gaming computer spending that much on that. So yeah, he throws a fit, they leave, and he offers them a check. Presumably didn't want to ever be heard from again. So yep. Nikki looks in the mirror, and it appears to take, and we see like just the I guess the first glimpse of Jessica looking very displeased.
Yeah.
It makes that visual always makes me laugh. Anyway, we see Mr. Bennett talking to Chandra about genetic abnormalities that might affect Claire.
I was watching this episode. It kind of made me think, what does all the lines mean? Like, you've got pictures of everyone, but why are they all connected? Like, do you know, or is this just something I'm thinking? Like, is this just something I'm thinking of? You've got like Nathan on one side. You've got someone on the other, but there's like loads of strings connecting them, and what do these strings mean?
They never really told us. I always assumed it was kind of just them doing the red strings of fate. You know what I mean? Like that, just for like the visual, it looks. But weren't they at one point different colors?
Yeah, I think they are different colors, and I don't know what it means. So, oh well.
I think a lot of it might be like, you know how in biology class, like when you learn about DNA and you're making like the helix and stuff, one's red, one's blue, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe it's classifications of powers.
Maybe.
And like how the powers are related. Like, this person chose this, maybe. Fan wanking. Anyway, so yeah, I can't believe Mr. Bennett actually like showed up. And he's talking to Chandra, and Chandra tells him about Shanti and why he really started his research, and that's pretty cool. And Chandra's like, hey, I'd really love to meet Claire. And Mr. Bennett's like, yeah, don't. Meanwhile, back in Hal's room, there's a knock at the door. He opens it, and Jessica enters. Well, he thinks it's Nikki.
That all happens, basically.
Yeah, like apparently he was an alcoholic and beat Jessica to death, and Jessica took it so Nikki wouldn't have to. So, yeah.
Yeah. Sanders stuff.
Wait. It's her twin, but they never explicitly say that it's her twin, right?
No, they never do.
Anyway, she kills him. Jessica kills him. Oh, no, she doesn't. She throws him on the bed and stuffs the check into his mouth and tells him not to return. I think it would have been better if she killed him. That's what's in my notes. Oh, I wish she would have killed Hal. That would have made up for it. Anyway, because she torn other people to pieces. I don't know why she didn't tear Hal to pieces. So Claire is practicing some cheerleading routines, and he brings her a teddy bear from around the world. I mean, presumably he's been to New York 1 billion times, and this is the first time he's bringing back a big apple teddy bear. okay. They have that conversation about her being a bad person because she wants to be a cheerleader, and I kind of take personal offense to it. Like, what does being a cheerleader have to do with being a bitch? It's totally, they're not, like, mutually exclusive. I was a cheerleader in high school. I was perfectly fine and normal. And nice.
That's what you think when you go to your reunion and everyone's been like, "Ah, you were a total bitch." No,
I've
I'm
already
joking.
been to my 10-year reunion. And everybody loved me, damn it, I swear. But, like, I just hated that. Like, it's just like, oh, because you're a cheerleader, you instantly have to be a bitch. And I'm like, this is so after school special. And then, anyway, she takes the bandage off after they call Jackie a bitch. I love that he said it, though. It's so funny. She's like, oh, Daddy, yes. And the hand is all healed.
And it is her hand, I think. I don't think it's stunt hand.
I'm pretty sure that's her little tiny hand. And he goes, oh, that healed nicely. And I'm like, shouldn't she be freaking out more? Like, obviously that was a deep cut. Obviously there should be a scar. I know hands heal, but the palm of your feet and hands heal better than most things on your body, but really, come on. Yeah. Anyway, back at the Parkmans.
Oh, this is it. This is where I get to tell my stuff.
Yeah, tell your stuff. Go ahead.
I actually don't mind Janice in this one. She's nice. She's actually quite affectionate and caring to Matt. And I think it's Matt's fault why she becomes such a bitch. Because, she's saying, you're all I need. You're my hero, all that kind of stuff. And it's just his self-pity which is wearing her down. It's obviously like this kind of, defeatist attitude that he's got is what makes her run into the arms of someone else. And I think it's his fault why she's such a bitch.
You can't make a person do that. I mean, that's a choice. You're married. You want to see somebody else get a separation or a divorce. Okay, go to therapy. Adultery is never the answer unless you really want to end a relationship. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, she seems nice, but who knows what a raging bitch she was 2 days before. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, Janice was nice. I was like, sex and eggs, huh? Yeah, okay. I don't. It was like she pitied him to me. Like, she was trying her best not to come across that way. But we cut to Peter, who's getting dressed for the deposition, and Nathan knocks on the door and it's like, Dad's dead. No deposition. That was anticlimactic. Hero tells Charlie, we cut to Hero telling her about the 24-hour Samurai Film Festival in Austin, Texas. And I'm like, do you know how awesome it would be if there was an actual 24-hour Samurai Film Festival in Austin, Texas? And he asked her if she still wants to go to Japan. And she's like, yeah, I'm sick and dying, bro. I usually don't let people in, but you're so cute and crazy. And so they lean in for a kiss. And he's teleported back to present day Tokyo on the rooftop of Yamagato Industries. And the one guy's like, hey, aren't you and Ando supposed to be on vacation in America? He tried to teleport back, but he can't. He can't even get to the damn diner. Somebody shows up to Gabriel's clock shop as he's fixing another watch and introduces himself as Brian Davis. He's like, yeah, somebody called me. And Gabriel's like,
yeah.
Because of the watch. So, anyway, the guy's like, I don't want this. Take it away. Dude, Gabriel's just like, you're broken and I'm gonna fix it.
I kind of feel for Sylar at this point. I think he goes to the extreme, but he wants to be special. He wants these powers. He wants powers. And here's this guy in front of him saying like, yeah, I've got powers, but I don't like them. I don't want them. Take them away. And, this is what he's wanting.
But like, yeah, he kind of,
he puts his glasses on, gets to work.
That's the best thing. I think they should have kept that. Personally. I love the glasses and the... Oh, so he took the guy's telekinetic powers and he shows up to, I guess I'm just kind of going to skip over something really quick because I just want to talk about this. He shows up to Chandra's and he's like, hey, see, you were wrong. I am special. I have telekinetic powers. And Chandra's like, oh, come in. Come in. Let's work together now that you can do something. So anyway, we cut to, before that happened though, Mr. Bennett is explaining to Eden that she has an opportunity to start over and come work for them. And he goes, hey, the this guy by the name of Chandra has a list with Claire Bennett's name on it, and I want you to get her off. So then we return to present day, and Hero returns to the diner. Ando sees him, gives him a big hug, but Hero ain't got time for hugs. Couldn't save Charlie. Another defeat stacks up on his list.
Yes, and it not only is it a defeat, it becomes like a crisis of faith at this point. Like he has these powers, but he can't do anything about the one thing that he kind of wants to do. He wants to be able to save Charlie, but he can't do it. And it kind of, at this point, he's scared of his powers because he knows he can't fix things at this point.
He says his powers are bigger than him, so what's the point of him having powers?
Yeah.
That was kind of like a weird thing to say. Poor Charlie. But she was going to die anyway, so I mean...
Yeah.
I don't really see that really helping Sylar. It's just another power to make him a little more crazy or a little more unstable.
I don't know if he actually took the powers, did he?
He killed her.
Yeah, I know, but whether or not he actually took that power, because I just assumed he wouldn't be able to take it because she already had an aneurysm, but because he never uses it, he never brings up random facts or speaks Japanese. Sorry.
Maybe he doesn't and he killed her for nothing, which is even more tragic. So yeah, we get the voiceover about DNA, whether your future's written in it or if fate is just from the beginning, you can't change it. Whatever.
What are you gonna rate this? Come on, because I'm just from your sigh, I'm intrigued now.
Okay. Practical application for a fun way to tell exposition, I give it a B. Actually I remember actually liking this episode when I first watched it. Overall grade, C+. But what about you?
A grade? I'm going to give it a B because I like Hero. And I actually quite liked his story. I really thought it's very quite sweet, and it gave him more depth to his character. It made him less of a comedy character and kind of gave him a tragic kind of love story, and it gave you more of an emotional attachment to him.
What about your favorites?
It's got to be the cranes because it's a Hero thing.
I think my favorite scene is when he teleports back to the rooftop of Yamagata Industry. I like comic relief Hero. I really do. I think that's his strong suit, unless it's Future Hero.
Yeah.
And if it's Future Hero, it's just being BAMF.
How about favorite lines? Do you have any lines from this scene?
Oh, I love it when Brian Davis comes in and he's like, "You're broken, but I can fix it. It's an evolutionary imperative," and bashes his skull in.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
It's so perfect. It's like that derangement that Quinto gives it. It's just so Gabriel Sylar. And then my second runner-up, of course, is Greto Scott.
Okay.
Just because he was so exasperated.
I think it's just the way he manages to change the word Scott into 2 syllables, which is...
I know! What about what's an iconic moment from this that's etched in your brain?
Oh no, I've got to say it again. I quite liked the beginnings of Sylar, so the whole, cracking him over the head with the, no, actually, no, I won't even go with that. I think I don't know. Maybe the cranes again.
That is a really good still image, even a good GIF even. I love Tumblr and I love a good GIF. That's definitely a good, very bright, colorful, and interesting. For me, I think it would be when he realizes that he's gone back 6 months and it's raining, and then you see him looking out with that sad face.
Oh yeah, sad face.
I love it. Stares off into the distance. It was like a scene right out of one of those early 2000 superhero movies where they're just standing on the rooftop in the rain. Oh God, I do not miss those early 2006 superhero movies. Let's see. Trivia.
Jack Coleman became a regular cast member in this episode. Sendel is he didn't appear in the episode apart from a repeated scene from Homecoming. The Brian Davis, his address is Berman Street, and that is the last name of the actor who played Brian Davis. There's a reflection of a hospital light which resembles an eclipse, which I thought was kind of cool. What else have I got? The crane scene is reminiscent of the actual the comic book that called The Crane that Hero is in. We know that he's good at origami building cranes, and he's got all of them over his the Hiroshima memorial that he talks to his grandfather at. Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about this whole episode is the fact that you hear Smile by Lily Allen. It's like 6 months ago, and it didn't actually get released till September. Like, I'm a huge Lily Allen fan, and I just happen to know that, and I'm like, guys?
Yeah, I love Lily Allen as well. First album, Lily Allen.
Yeah, the third one's not that bad. Second one, she could have took a vacation.
According to Greg Beeman's blog, more than 1,000 origami cranes were used in the scene. The first 1,000 were rented from a nearby Catholic school. More cranes were needed, so it took 10 people 3-hour days to complete. They probably weren't very good at it then. It took them that long. I think that's all I've got. Have you got anything?
Oh, I actually loved all the samurai movies he quoted because they're Kurosawa films. Like, I actually do love samurai movies, especially the old black and white ones, where the lips are all out of sync if you try to listen to with the English dub. So the graphic novel was called Turning Point. The story was by Christopher Zada, and then we get art by both Micah Gunnell and Marcus too. That was interesting. This particular Easter egg actually happens to be behind the scene photos of Clea Duvall and Greg Grunberg. Yay!
I liked it. It's the whole kind of, it's kind of the catch me if you can kind of vibe where she nearly gets him. And
oh yeah, I just mean that Easter egg. Like I told you guys previously, I don't let you see behind the scene photos. Give me a damn Isaac Mendez painting, high res. Oh yeah, so this one's about basically Agent Audrey Hanson, and she's playing she's trying to catch Sylar, but he's just really messing with her. It seems like.
It's the first graphic novel told from the perspective of someone not actually in the episode. So basically, she's not in 6 months ago, but the graphic novel that accompanies the episode is about her.
Yeah, that was fun. I like at the end, though, where he's like...
The cheesy grin walking away.
The old man he gave his clothes to, and I'm like, what is this, Batman Begins? Oh, God. And I like that they're in Chicago, though.
Yeah.
Like, I do like that. Like, the graphic novel was obviously more easily able to go places because they just have to draw it than actually go to. Because it is hard to make LA look like Chicago. And it's hard to make anywhere look like New York properly, so.
I have emails.
Yay!
It's Charlie /@EnglishIdiot101 again.
I love her, by the way.
I know, right? She's there all the time. Okay, so I'm going to try and read this. It's pretty long. Let's see how well I do. I really enjoyed both Homecoming and 6 months ago. Homecoming really began to bring together our heroes and villain to try and stop the future from happening. Claire being killed at Homecoming, which turned out to be Jackie instead. Blah, blah, blah. I liked how Claire was portrayed in this episode. Loyal to her friend and sticking up for him, and him for breaking her out. Peter was being typical Peter, which I liked. He has enthusiasm and dedication to try and save the world. Of course, this episode also had Sylar in it. So I'm really happy at that point. So I'm taking it she's a Sylar fan. 6 months ago was so interesting as we got to see what they were like before the first episode chronologically. Sylar's story for me was the most interesting. He was just a simple watch repairman, and he was then lifted so high by Chandra only to be crashed back down and have his spirit broken. You can't help but feel sorry for him. Of course, this motivates him to call out Brian, and, well, we all know where it goes from there. No longer Gabriel, who seemed really sweet. Instead, he is now Sylar. Then you got Hero, present day, desperately trying to save Charlie, but he teleports away at the end. It's so sad. You want him to teleport back so badly. Really, these are among the favourites of the season. So, yeah.
Y'all are so sappy. I'm like I'm a cold-hearted little witch. I'm like, it didn't do anything for me.
It's the English in us.
Oh, yeah, because you guys are known to be so warm. No offense.
No, I get from her emails and her tweets as well that she really likes Sylar. So
you can sympathize with them to a point. Oh, that's it.
Shameless plugs. We'll start off with the email. The email is primatechfiles@gmail.com. If you want to discuss any of the episodes that we've watched, which is up to number 10 at the moment, you can send us an email giving us your thoughts and views. Also, if you want to, ask me and Lilith any questions about, heroes related or, personal related, we will answer them as long as it's not too personal. Download the episode, which is out. Don't stream it, and also rate, review on iTunes, please. It helps the famous algorithm. You can check out Southgate Media Groups on iTunes. Again, podcasts on General TV and Pop Culture. You can also go to southgatemedia.com or find out more details on the hosts, and also they do weekly blogs. We here at Primatech Files do weekly live tweeting. Just follow us at Primatech Files and for details, and use the hashtag Primatech Files to join the conversation. We've just finished episode 10, and the people who tweeted along with us was Sincere667 again and English Idiot 101, who is also very good at sending us emails. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Primatech Files. You can find us on our new Tumblr, which is primatechfiles.tumblr.com. And you can, I've already said about the email, but just in case you didn't guess it, primatechfiles@gmail.com. You could also follow me on Twitter at RickyJDiaz. That's RickyJDiaz, or Z if you are American. Lilith.
Oh, hey. You guys can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. You can find my personal Tumblr at liliththeoryhellfire.tumblr.com. And please be sure to check out my blog, littlepopculturevulture.blogspot.com. It is dedicated to comic book geeks and pop culture junkies alike. Always looking for cool comments and cool people to live tweet them. Just either write the comments of an article that catches your fancy. You know what to tell them.
Download the podcast, save the world.